We are all going to suffer. There is no way around it. But is suffering the stigma associated with it? The purpose of the Un-Convoluted Hierarchy Podcast is to help you better understand your work environment as I break down my own experiences as mid-level management of road construction. Greetings, navigators, and welcome back to the Un-Convoluted Hierarchy Podcast, the Can You Relate series. I am your host, Kenny Rogers.
Come on, man. Sit the fuck down.
In the Word Up segment of the show, we introduce a new word or a word hardly used in everyday speech. Word up. Ineffable. Incapable of being expressed in words. The adjective ineffable was famously used in Frederick Douglass' autobiography in the late 1800s. He said, "Every tone was a testimony against slavery and a prayer to God for deliverance from chains. The hearing of those wild notes always depressed my spirit and filled me with ineffable sadness." If Mr. Douglass were alive today, I believe he would be proud to see the growth of humanity compared to the late 1800s, from how things were to how things are now, regardless of life's imperfections. Well, it's truly ineffable.
Don't give up. I don't want you to feel discouraged. I want you to understand that it just means we got to push that much harder. It means that we've got to keep up the fight. The forces of the status quo may not give an inch, but we will not give an inch. Because we didn't come this far to put things off. We didn't come here to play it safe. We didn't do all this work to take the easy road to get through the next election.
Don't forget to order your copy of the Un-Convoluted Hierarchy Workbook to help you navigate your work environment. The link is in the bio. The construction management field was good to me for a very long time. I earned good money. I was able to use my mind. 10% of the time I was in the office, 90% outdoors. I went in to work clean, and I returned home clean. These are just a few things I found valuable and definitely grateful for. Of course, like in any business, we have to contend with conflicting personalities and other difficulties, even if it's your dream job. I've encouraged a lot of highly intelligent people who had unsatisfying, laborious jobs. I influenced them to transition to construction management. My most influential and effective line was, "You're going to deal with problem personalities no matter what, so you may as well make more money to do it." Well, believe it or not, a lot of these highly intelligent people weren't smart enough to grow from suffering. So many of them chose the same old confusing wretchedness they were used to. We are all going to suffer. There is no way around it. But is suffering the stigma associated with it? When we feel emotional pain, we begin to think of ways to restore ourselves.
the operative word is think. Ignoring physical or mental pain is like a child being warned to not touch a hot stove. But the child not only touches the heat, he leaves his hand on the burner. Moments of suffering, just like the sudden pain in the body, is a warning. It is a signal to pay attention to a teachable moment. A more realistic scenario of a child touching a hot stove is the child won't do it again. Lesson learned. Mental and physical pain are triggers to think, a signal to navigate, not retreat in fear and avoidance of discomfort. Avoidance of suffering is not wise, but wisdom, because of pain, keeps you from suffering. You already know Jackass Jim and Negative Nancy. You've worked with these people for a long time. Selfish sociopaths aren't satisfied if they're not swatting at a hornet's nest and reclining as if they had nothing to do with the disruption. People suffer the chaos caused by energy vampires as they buzz around the office angry, even with people who had nothing to do with the nest being overturned. Again, you already know Jackass Jim and Negative Nancy. If you're hearing unusual, emotional, dissenting words from Sam, it's not really Sam speaking. It's Jim. Jim got to Sam so Sam can get to you. Have you ever found yourself totally bewildered by people you like? You are so thrown off by the sudden attack, you really don't know what to say. If you manage to say anything, it's in the form of a question. Sam, what did I ever do to you? If a person can't tell you what or why, there are one of two reasons for this. There's a chance of it being someone's jealous imagination speaking, but it is more likely the impartation of someone else's manic manipulation manifesting through someone you've never had a problem with. Puppet and puppeteer effect. Not to play the victim only. Remember the time you disliked someone and realized there were no situational reasons for distaste. Nevertheless, you do know who hates the person you had an invalid dislike for. It's an energy transfer. Chances are, aggressively or passive aggressively, you were programmed to see an innocent bystander as an enemy. We've all done this before. So, lesson learned, wisdom gained. Now, when you see the hornet's nest is disturbed, you hear the buzzing of annoyed busybodies, but your silence is a display of peace amongst the chaos. Most people don't learn by what is said, they learn by what is done. You may not be able to explain your freedom from disturbance, but you definitely can show them. Action alone is probably best, because the less you say, the more peace you keep. No one can manipulate words you don't say. Here is another example of circumstances not changing, but you change. The only way to get to the land of peace is through the land of suffering. When you suffer, seemingly insane, daunting, emotionally draining, regressive scenarios. It is actually the impetus of opportunity. A great leader from the village of Tarsus famously penned a profound understanding. It is good for me that I have been afflicted, that I might learn thy statutes. Navigators, you are going to suffer. If you don't learn from moments meant to be brief, tough moments will be the totality of your life. Yet, when you learn from cavernous valleys, pivotal points in time, you grow and go to a place that is truly ineffable. I'm out of time, but here is a clip of what to expect in the next episode of the Un-Convoluted Hierarchy Podcast. You have to give everything you have to what you believe is for you. You have to try your hardest to make or keep things right. Yes, you have to just do it and never give up. But there are some things you will face that you can't fix because you're not supposed to.
Don't forget to order your copy of the Un-Convoluted Hierarchy Workbook to help you navigate your work environment. The link is in the bio.
It's easier to keep up with new episodes when you click the follow button and turn on notifications. Remember, fellow navigators, circumstances don't change. You do. See you next time.